Hey, what's up everyone? It's Colin with House Hunters right here in Keller, Texas. And if you're wondering what it's like living, eating, sleeping, playing, and the pros and cons of living in Keller, Texas, then hey, hit that subscribe button. You'll be notified every time I do one of these videos. And honestly, I get calls all the time from people relocating here to Keller and the Dallas-Fort Worth metro, and I absolutely love it. So hey, shoot me a text, send me an email, give me a call, send Paul Revere. However you want to get a hold of me, just know I got your back when you're relocating here to Keller, Texas, or anywhere in the Dallas-Fort Worth metro. And hey, now on to the video, pros and cons of living in Keller, Texas. Okay, so the first couple of pros that I'm going to go over here in Keller, Texas, and I'm going to give you full disclosure, is I do live here. Lived here for 25 years, raised 4 children in Keller and through the Keller ISD. All 4 are very successful. I can say they all went through Florence Elementary, Bear Creek, and then Keller Middle and Keller High, on to college, Texas A&M. My second daughter has graduated out there, very successful in her business career. My oldest daughter owns her own business. My son is a very successful structural welder, travels all over the United States. And my youngest is in A&M right now studying equine science. And she went through actually the vocational veterinary school here that's part of the Keller ISD KCAL. So I can really contest that it's a great place to raise a family, and then to go through the Keller ISD school district. It's not a party town. You know, there's not a lot of bars, stuff like that. There's, you know, it's more of park systems, family atmosphere, get-togethers, weekends in the park here. They have movies. You know, Bear Creek Park. They'll have, you know, the food trucks, all that on the weekends. Dog contests, you know, things like that. So it's really, you know, a quiet little town, close to the metroplex. It's reachable, you know, within 20-30 minutes. The airports, downtown, Dallas, Fort Worth, things like that. So it's just, you know, living here 25 years, I can really, you know, contest to that. I've seen a lot of growth. When I moved here, it was probably 15,000. Now it's closer to 45,000. The growth that has taken on here in Keller. But like I said, that's one of the, it ranks up in the top of the best towns in the United States to raise a family in, of niche.com. So that's going to be my first 2 pros of Keller, Texas. One of the great things about Keller is their park systems. The total acreage that Keller has dedicated to parks that it has right now is 341 acres of park system and 27 miles of this hike and bike trail that I'm on right here. And this runs from east to west through Keller. And there's lots of activities that go on out here. There's sand volleyball courts. There's the pavilion you can see behind me. And then also here along, there's a river that runs through here as well, which there have family activities for fishing for the kids. And as you can see, it's quite busy here. It's January the 11th. And it's a nice, well, balmy day, but lots of activity going on here. And this is kind of in the middle of Bear Creek Park that I'm at right now in Keller. And so it's just a great family atmosphere here in Bear Creek Park. So the next thing I want to talk about is the weather. And that's, I get that question a lot when people call me, as like, oh my gosh, I heard there's tornadoes there. Well, Texas is known for tornadoes. I grew up in Tornado Alley, actually, up in the Panhandle of Texas. And since I lived here for 25 years, I've There's been maybe a couple of tornadoes, one in Fort Worth and one in Grand Prairie, that actually touched down, and then the rest of it really is just straight line winds that we have here. The worst part of the weather is the spring, when we get the hailstorms. You know, they could be light one season, heavy the next, but that's something we deal with. And a lot of people say, oh my God, it's so hot there. Well, the average temperature in the summer is 95 degrees. Sometimes we get up in the hundreds for a couple of days, but it's very bearable, and drier humidity, so the weather is really good. We get, I think, 235 days a year on the average of sunshine. The rest will have some type of participation, and then on the average about 1 inch of snowfall a year. So I'm here at the Keller Police Department, and this is also the Regional Animal Shelter, which is a no-kill shelter. And one of the great things about, again, raising a family here in Keller is actually it's one of the safest places to live in Texas. And on niche.com, it's ranked a 1 out of 10, 1 being the lowest in crime rates and safest places to live. So again, that's probably one of the main things here is, you know, just a great place to raise a family, is the service that the Keller PD gives to our citizens here in Keller. So the talk of Keller has always been that we are the city of fast food, Mexican restaurants, and chicken. And really, Keller has always kind of been that way. There's not a whole lot of sit-down restaurants in Keller. We have to drive out to like Roanoke, South Lake, over to North Fort Worth to go to the nicer, you know, sit-down restaurants, or downtown Fort Worth, downtown Dallas, whatever it may be, Grapevine. But yeah, Keller, it's always been the franchise type, and I'm here at the Whataburger in kind of the northeast part of Keller. Everybody always, when they get here, my clients, they want to go eat at Whataburger. I don't know what it is. I grew up in Texas, always had Whataburger. It's okay. There are better burgers in the area, but Keller is, you know, if you're looking for fine dining, it's not here. It's not the sit-down stuff. It's more the franchise, you know, burgers, fast food, Mexican restaurants, and then of course the chicken. We have Chick-fil-A, Chicken Express, Zaxby's, Cane's. I mean, I think there's 5 or 6, 7 different chicken places here, and then all kinds of Mexican food and so forth. But I know the Economic Development Board is working on getting or attracting more of the sit-down restaurants, but right now it is what it is. It's more the franchise fast food type restaurants here in Keller. So as I mentioned in the last clip about the mostly franchise restaurants, not a whole lot of sit down, the same applies to retail here in Keller. Not a whole lot of big department clothing stores, you know, mostly small boutique. We do have the, you know, 3 major grocery store chains, you know, gas stations, hardware store, things like that. But for the big major purchase, you know, big box department stores, malls, stuff like that, it's more South Lake, Grapevine, North Fort Worth that we had to travel out to. So that's the pros and cons of the shopping here in Keller. All right, so I'm gonna wrap up this video of the pros and cons of living in Keller, Texas, right here in Bear Creek Park, part of that 28-mile hike and bike trail system. And behind me here, that's the Keller Town Hall. You can see the amphitheater as well on the other side of the pond here. That's where they have movie night on summer nights. They set up a big screen, have vendors, food trucks. It's just a great family atmosphere here. And then you can see behind me here the great Texas sunsets that we have here. And you know, the rankings from niche.com in the state of Texas, we rank number 25 in places to raise a family. number 35 in places to buy a home here. So hey, it's a great place to live, and if you're just looking to live here, raise a family, empty nester, there's a home here for you, and I can help you find that and the lifestyle that you're looking for. And like I said, just reach out to me, send me a text, give me a call, shoot me an email, however you want to get a hold of me. Just know I'll have your back when you're moving here to Keller, Texas, or anywhere in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. And until that next video, I'll catch you later.